with the Bayonetta, sitting down, who definitely just heard us look back versus a character that has kind of fallen by the wayside, one that used to be a bit of a problem, but now we've learned can't kill. It's Inkling.
Yeah, so like literally last night during the grind, I was talking with Cosmos and Sinatra about this, and like there's a very big condition in this game where like if one big rep doesn't exist for a character anymore, the character just, like you said, falls by the wayside. And since Cosmos moved off of that Inkling towards that Corrin, towards that Pyre and Mithra, there ain't that much representation for those Inklings out there.
This matchup's going to be interesting, too, because a majority of this match is going to be heavily dictated on the fact that you have a character who struggles to kill, gets you to kill percents like up throw, up air, and then has to find a roller. But Bayonetta falls in that same department.
Right, neither of them have that much kill power outside a specific percent range.
Yeah, you get back airs, you get up tilt to back air, and you got the rapid jabs now, but you have to worry about the mobility that is Inkling, who can punish over commitment on movement with things like that roller. However, Jaaaahsh has just been cruising in it. No Rob here, by the way. This is a character we're normally used to seeing. The Bayonetta putting in that work. Heals. Stiletto's looking fancy, getting that down smash.
Oh, make sure it's looking fancy because it's going to be right in your face. A fantastic first pickup for Jaaaahsh, and he's looking great. Only 68.9%. Not really all that much on the board, especially considering Inkling's damage output once you get out of that like 0 to 20% range. And look at this, 61% done off of the rip already. Jaaaahsh is playing this fantastically.
Absolutely, controlling the pace of the game. And one of the things that Inkling loves to do is use back air, which is definitely better than most characters' movesets, except Witch Twist doesn't care about that. You try to swing on my shield like that too much, I'm going to combo you, and that's what Jaaaahsh is basically establishing against Steve right now.
Yeah, he's just playing absolutely fantastically out of shield pressure, and it's something that Ensteve just like hasn't really figured out how to deal with. Like, we haven't seen him go for a ton of grabs. Like, he gets one right there, but he's way out of, oh man, out of booyah range and into the blast zone.
Like the most crucial mistake made, straight into a forward smash, but finally finds a roller. That is something that, like I said, you usually want to stay like airborne. You want to make sure you stay away from that because they're not going to kill you with a straight hit like a forwarder or something. Now, we know there are some good bread and butter strings for Inkling. It depends on if you can actually find it, because Jaaaahsh is playing airborne a lot. These grabs are not anywhere to be found.
Right, and that's one of the things that I think Bayonetta has in spades in this matchup is, like you said, she doesn't play on the ground. She's almost always approaching from the air, almost always just playing neutral in the air. So if you're not grounded, what's Inkling supposed to do? You can't get grabbed, you can't get roller, none of that stuff exists. And so, well, you end up with a situation much like this one where he's just struggling to find any percent whatsoever.
Yeah, and as, once again, committing to the roller and getting caught for it, not too much damage, but at 107%, you're pretty much around up tilt back air range, especially right now. As Jaaaahsh continues to go for the pressure, I think that was meant to be a back air instead of the forward air right there, but got a little bit crossed up. Doesn't matter though, Which Time finds the mark.
Yeah, Which Time, a shadow of its former self, not really the level of threat that it was in a previous game, but still, especially against a move like that F smash where you can quick react to it and then pop the Witch Time, very, very effective.
Yeah, especially against a character who, you already know one of the main things that Ensteve is going to be looking for is those up throws. So, because you're never giving it to him, they have to find a lot of stray hits just to push you off stage and find an edge guard, which is hard to do on that character, and it just makes it so difficult to find. You can definitely see like Ensteve, like, damn, what do I do? Like, how do I control the pace of where you go?
And the answer to that is very, very difficult, but this is actually a really good first step to it, and it's the counter pick to FD. No more platforms means Bayo is going to have to land more often and land in your zone. So it's a case of, without those platforms, where's she going to go? Right in front of me. And when she goes right in front of me, roller becomes an option, grab becomes an option.
Exactly, especially with the fact that you have the end lag of ABK, all of the specials in the air. It makes it easier to find those grabs, but still Jaaaahsh consistently just establishing, I'm going to beat you on air to airs every single time.
Absolutely. Does take that ink bomb right to the face, though, as they try and chase off stage. So that's a little bit of respite, and okay.
I was about to say, look, we've said this many times before. Bayonetta players, it's in their contract. They have to SD at least once in the set.
Yeah. Like, we both know, we were like, oh, here, everyone gets one, right? Like, we saw it coming, but Jaaaahsh actually playing that extremely well, still making it back to stage, and right back where he wants to be, right back into advantage.
Yeah, right now, just keeping it simple, but right now we're ranges actually about maybe another 10%. Now, definitely, up throw up air is online, so you have to be super careful. However, we talk about the on-shield game again. Every time you whiff on top of Bayonetta like that, Witch Twist is going to push you off and you're back to nooch.
Absolutely, but has to make it back to stage before he can make it back to Nooch, and with no tech off of that witch twist to the side, that's going to be night-night on stock number 1.
That's why we were talking about the fear of trying to edge guard the Bayonetta, because normally that's one of your other win cons is Inkling, but you can't go off stage with fair because you might accidentally lose out on the trade. Like, and now with a deficit, it just makes it easier because Bayo loves people who love to approach her too much.
Yeah, and right now, like you said, with the deficit, Ensteve really has no other option. Like, there's 5 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. I don't think we're going to see a timeout, but I know for a fact Jaaaahsh is more than happy to just play for time if Ensteve decides I don't want to approach anymore.
Exactly. This is a character who thrives on you swing first, I punish later. And if you want to keep coming in on me, that's fine. You don't need to overcommit on when you have a lead like this. As granted, Jaaaahsh tried to find the jump right there. I like the attempt. Forward throw, still not going to kill at that point, but you continuously establish fear on wanting to hold shield, then you read a jump on the back air next.
And I think it's also beautiful bear, but it's also extremely important to do exactly what Jaaaahsh is doing on the ledge, and that's make your opponent afraid to do anything. Make them afraid to push a button. Neutral, get up, attack, jump, roll, all of them, they should be afraid to push any of it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like right now, look, Jaaaahsh can run your pools and also run you right out of pools. Jaaaahsh is just cruising with this W right now. As you see, 163, it's at 31. Ensteve, like outside of maybe back throw at this point at ledge, it pretty much, I don't know what the KO option is, and there is none left. That's going to be
You don't even need a KO option, because your opponent does the work for you. Jaaaahsh gets to cruise right into winners round 2 with a fantastic victory over Ensteve 2-0.
Yeah, very, very clean W. As we started talking about before, Jaaaahsh always been a threat in terms of a player in general, just, always on the sides, making sure, running things behind the scenes. We need people to do that, but always been an incredible Rob, and now this Bayonetta as well, looking really good.
What is it with TOs and playing Rob? You got Jaaaahsh, you got Tantalus, like...
They actually, yeah,
that's a weird correlation.
I don't know. Said they do the numbers, they need a character that computes off of numbers, so it's like, it's weird.
But he runs your pool, he runs your fade, now he's running further into bracket. I believe that puts him actually 1 away from qualifying for phase 2 tomorrow.
I believe so, yeah. Like, look, Josh literally like, yo, it's onside, put your mask up, or that. Also, run hands in the pools. It's awesome to see. When it comes to Ensteve, like, it definitely came to a matchup thing, because you can see, like, the attentions were correct. Trying to go for rollers, trying to find grabs. The character's just airborne too much. So trying to challenge them on air-to-air is really difficult with a character who doesn't really find those KOs from aerials like that.
Yeah, they knew the correct thing that they wanted to do. They knew the win condition, but the problem came about in the fact that Jaaaahsh also knew the win condition, and he knew exactly how to play around it. So that's just the matchup experience coming out right there.
Yeah, really, like, just simplify the game. And sometimes that's the way to do it. Simplicity is key. When you try to overcomplicate your win conditions, sometimes you end up overextending a little bit too much, and also you end up realizing that your character might suck. So unfortunately for Inkling, definitely a character, like we said, used to be touted as one of the best characters in the game, and then we started realizing this character struggles to kill, and unfortunately that really comes into play in a lot of matchups where people are very evasive and counter grab heavy like that one.
Right, and that conversation comes up a lot when talking about both Bayonetta and Inkling, where it's just like there is a very, very specific percent window where you are in danger. But actually, once you get above that percent window, nothing works anymore.
Every single time.
None of our moves work.
Every single time. I know everybody's tired of hearing it, but I just hear Ralph, I'm in danger. Every single time in the back of my head. Yeah, everybody, it's Carl Con time.
No. We're not doing that. But we do have something to talk about real quick.
Yeah, hit exclamation point Maturito in the chat right now so you can go ahead and follow Judy. And then make sure you also provide a $1 free reward. It takes you no time whatsoever to go ahead and provide that quick link, get an additional money towards the pot. It's awesome, and Maturito does it on a regular, usually something like 5 cents, but we're getting a whole $1 today out of the thousands and thousands of viewers who are watching. Like, so just this few seconds helps every little bit.
These top players are absolutely killing it, putting on one hell of a show for every single one of you at home. And if you want to throw a little bit back at them just as a little bit of a thank you, Maturino is the perfect way to do it. You just complete a couple of small, really quick, really easy tasks, and then it's just free money straight into the prize pot and straight into those top players' pockets.
100%. Also, we have chat open. I can see y'all hanging out over here. And also, I see quite a few of you who are in here who don't have that little VG icon next to you. What you should probably do is